Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
Welcome to Kimberly's Revolution. Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty. We're dancing. We've got the turkey in studio. We're missing one turkey. And we have Shannon Joy.
Hello,
joining
everyone.
us. We love Shannon. How you guys doing? I know. Would you like to rock out a little bit?
Turkeys can't fly, Kimberlina.
They cannot. One of the best episodes ever of WKRP in Cincinnati. That's it. That's right.
Herb thought the turkeys could fly.
You look
like an idiot.
Tom Morgan, of course, in as the Tom Turkey. And, of course, we honor him, Shannon, by having, and you don't know Tom. Does Tom, Shannon?
This is the first time I've ever met Tom. And he's in a turkey suit. So I don't know.
Does this turkey suit make me look fat?
Well, the name of the podcast today, Kimberly's Revolution with Revere Realty, is Don't Be a Turkey.
There we go.
That is the name of the podcast. And the reason it is the name of the podcast is because of this guy right here.
Turkey. You don't want to be the turkey on Thanksgiving.
You don't. You don't want to be the turkey. Always brilliant, insightful comments from Comrade Cuomo, who wants everyone to have as little freedom as possible and wants to rule with an iron fist over the state of New York, because what he's hoping for really is a position in Biden's atmosphere. Hey, Chris, how are you? Thanks for listening on Facebook Live. So that's what we'll get to a little bit later.
Don't be a turkey.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
You don't want to be the turkey on Thanksgiving.
We want to thank Fantuzzo's Acupuncture for being our sponsor. And have you ever been had acupuncture, or they're into holistic health, Shannon? At
I am a
Fantuzzo's.
huge fan of holistic.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with holistic.
I know you are.
You know me.
I do.
I like Western medicine, but I like Eastern as well.
Yeah.
I like the holistic approach. I like vitamins.
They do all that stuff at Fantuzzo, so we appreciate them being a sponsor, our main big sponsor for Kimberly's Revolution, and we appreciate. Where'd you get that costume?
Well, now that the riots are gone, I couldn't just walk in and take it. So I actually had to buy this, Kimberly.
Damn it, luck.
The other one, I could just walk in and take it. Nobody said anything.
I know. Are you hot in that suit?
It is. It's a big Snuggie is what it is.
You feel like you're in the oven baking at like 375?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you look super cute.
Oh, no.
Stand up and let
I
everyone
look like a
see.
big fat pig.
No, you're a turkey.
I love it.
Hey, Jenny, can we get the scoop on what's going on in the town of Greece? We will get to that in just a little bit. There's a lot of stuff to get to. In Greece, apparently, they're just firing people now under the guise of being bullies. And a whole judge is involved. Maybe a judge's son that ran for Robach seat that lost. Of course, you know, the Berries, the Berry family. That whole thing is a very interesting story that's going on in Greece, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But I also wanted to say, hey, we have a fan page, Kimberly's Revolution fan page on Facebook. You can go to that. You can like it. And if you're not catching us live here on Facebook right now, we hope you are. But if you're not, you can catch us on YouTube and give us a like. And subscribe for free on YouTube under Kimberly's Revolution, or Apple Podcasts. And you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Tell us what you think. Leave a little comment. We appreciate that as well. I know Shannon. I've known Shannon for a long time, Tom. I've known Shannon since I was doing mornings on the first radio station I worked for here in Rochester, and you were just a baby. And you were selling radio time.
Slinging ads.
Yeah, you were.
Slinging ads, girls. Hustling and
getting it done.
Wearing turkey suits.
Well, whatever you got to do to get a sale. That's the lesson in sales.
I need one of those signs that you could flip around on the street corner.
It looks nice.
If you want to take, I know Chad's not here, and the reason someone's asking about Chad, he got stuck. So he thought he would get stuck. That's why we bumped the time to 5. And he got stuck even longer. So we're going to forgive him for that. Shelly says, hey, YouTube is better than on the TV. Yeah, it is, Shelly. Joanne says, hi, Kimberly. Hi, Tom Turkey and Shannon.
Hello.
And David said, wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving from my side of the pond. I don't know where that is, but I'm assuming he's over in the UK. So we're grateful he's watching. So if you want to, you can take that off. I know you got a fabulous suit jacket on underneath that we appreciate. So here's the thing. Cuomo, we heard yesterday, was taking a $25,000 raise. And I think when everyone raised such a big stink about it, he decided that he was going to defer that raise till next January. Isn't that nice of him? Isn't that fabulous?
There you go.
Making such a big difference in the state of New York, right?
A lot of mixed messages.
I don't even understand that. Half of the state is unemployed. We're not getting any extra money for being unemployed, the people who are unemployed. There are businesses suffering. There are businesses, Shannon, that aren't going to make it through, and I think they're pushing for another shutdown. If you ask me, I mean, Dr. Mendoza this afternoon said 373 more new cases. They've already shut down Erie counties on orange. They're just, it's like they're salivating at the thought of shutting down another area of New York State and going on with this shutdown, which really is horrible for the lives of Americans and their businesses and their way of life and their ability to earn money.
Right. No, it's devastating, and it really defies common sense. It defies logic. It defies reason. The data doesn't show. I mean, I've been doing this ad nauseum on my program.
I know you have.
This virus is survivable by 99.9% of the population. If you're under the age of 65, you're more likely to be hit by lightning than to perish from COVID-19.
From COVID. It's ridiculous.
And so, this is, but what we're seeing here in Rochester is really the pushback. I think if there hadn't been, you talked about the pushback with Andrew Cuomo and the fact that it was so intense and it was so swift that he backed off that raise in a hot second.
Yeah.
We are seeing that in counties across New York State.
Sure we are.
And, the idea, parents are not taking this school closure thing lying down. And here in New York, we have mobilized parents.
Well, we shouldn't, because I can't even imagine what it's doing to the education of our kids. First off, I mean, you have children, right?
3 kids.
You have 3 kids. My child is out of school and is actually a police officer. And
thank you for his service. Thank you for her service.
Yeah, she is doing very well. But the thing of it is, I can't imagine how difficult it is to do the remote learning. It's ridiculous. And I know parents are struggling. I know that kids are struggling. I know that businesses are struggling. Why drag this thing out? I don't understand it. People get sick. Here's what we don't know, Shannon and Tom, who is in another fabulous outfit.
I mean, that one's even better. I mean, the Americana is just
Don't you
intense.
love that? Yeah.
I love it.
I just got my hot tub delivered. What are you talking about? People are struggling.
People are struggling. Well, there's restaurants that aren't going to make it if there's another shutdown. I don't think there are businesses here in the city of Rochester, or for that matter, across the country, that are going to be able to take another 6 to 8 week shutdown. I just don't think nobody has the money. And where's the money going to come from? I mean, that's a great question, right? And who's educating? I mean, who's educating the kids?
They don't care, Kimberly. They don't care. That's the thing. See, the people in Albany, I call them megalomaniac control freak lunatics because they are, I mean, that is the best way to describe these people. And they have a very high tolerance for the suffering of the little people. They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. As long as the money keeps pouring in and it fills their coffers and they can hand it out to their friends and they can all exist in their own little world, we could be eating
fantastic.
our dogs for supper. I mean, they just don't care.
I don't want to do that. My dogs are small.
No.
That's only one. That's only lunch. That's just lunch.
Tyrants are going to tyrant, and once they get their power, they do not give it up.
Yeah.
Ever. They won't do it.
You know the.
So Shannon's a female Chad, I take it?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
they
big
are cut
time.
from the same cloth.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yes, I got that already.
But here's
when does my I disavow come out?
here's what I hate. I hate that this guy.
Don't be a turkey.
Yeah, no.
You don't want to be the turkey on Thanksgiving.
The turkey. You're not the turkey because you took
I
off
already
your
was
turkey
the
costume.
turkey.
Did you see Cuomo on law enforcement about, because law enforcement is giving pushback to this whole, hey, you can't have more than 10 people at your house on Thanksgiving because you shouldn't, and we want to tell you how to live your lives. Hey, Tim Shortsleeve, good to hear from you. There are law enforcement that are pushing back. I think this is the first Cuomo picture that we have that we can put up on the screen if we have that. There we go. You have to enforce the law or don't call yourself a law enforcement officer. My response to Comrade Cuomo is you can't be called the governor if you don't uphold the Constitution.
Here,
What don't we get from that? You can't call yourself
hang on,
a
Shannon.
governor.
I'll give Chad's response first.
Okay. I like it.
Okay, now it's your turn.
Listen, you cannot have a law unless you have a legislature. They pass the law. There's a bill that goes to the Senate and a bill that goes to the Assembly, and they come together and they reconcile that bill. They put it together. They send it to the governor, and he signs it. That is a law. Okay,
I'm just a bill.
Whatever he writes
I'm
with
only
his
a bill.
whatever he writes and scribbles with his crayons in his bad lair is not. I mean, it's not just whatever Andy thinks. I call him the Mad King. By the way, he's the Mad King because he's. That press conference yesterday
was off the chart crazy.
Yeah,
was
screaming at reporters, which, and by the way, I mean the media gets what they get because they've backed themselves into this corner. The media here in Rochester, the media across the country is just off the chart ridiculous and stupid. But the media has kind of brought this on themselves. So the reporter was backed into a corner yesterday, and Cuomo was going at him. I mean, tooth and nail, right?
Don't be obnoxious. Don't ask obnoxious questions.
Right, basically calling the reporter stupid.
Calling all of
Don't
us
be
stupid,
stupid.
too. And he told us to eat cheesecake, like Marie Antoinette.
Right.
All us little people, go eat cheesecake. It's your fault. He goes, it's your fault.
That's your fault.
It's your fault that you're. Really? If you weren't so, did he say stupid or dumb? He might have. He literally said,
Don't be stupid.
"Don't be stupid."
Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid.
Exactly.
Before we go any farther, I got to know the Saturday morning cartoon, the Bill thing with the PSA announcement.
I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill. I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Dun, dun, dun. Don't you remember?
Absolutely.
I know, yeah.
Conjunction, junction.
What's your function?
And
Yes.
button or. Gets you
I mean,
very
this
far.
is elementary stuff here, Cuomo. This is not too complicated. And that was the sentiment from you mentioned pushback on law enforcement. We're talking a dozen, 24 sheriffs, elected officials
Right.
across New York State.
Across New York
who
State.
said point blank, we're not enforcing this.
No,
Or any unconstitutional executive orders, which is huge. That is the constitutional principles and process. I love it.
Without a doubt. And Shannon, memes are great. Aren't memes great?
I do.
So this is the second picture that we have that I pulled today. This is a meme on law enforcement. I thought it was really very funny. I know your monitor isn't working.
I'm
but
looking at yours.
If we can put up that second law enforcement with the battering ram and you see right there? It's the police. We know
love
you
it.
brought a turkey that serves 10 to 12. They got a battering ram as if they're, going in and, serving a warrant on a house, right? They're breaking down a door because there are cars out front on Thanksgiving, and that means that you have too many people over at your house, and you are out of line and breaking the law.
Not in my house.
So says
So
Governor Cuomo.
So now
And
he's discriminating against overweight people? What if one guy bought a 12-pound turkey?
I know, right? What if there's a big van because he
Are you guys going to comply? Are you going to do the 10?
Hell no.
We're not. I think we have 15, 20 people coming.
Shannon?
I'm not telling you where it is, but
when have you ever known me to comply with anything?
Right.
I mean,
I love it.
you know.
That's what we need more of
When
in this
have you-
country.
I'm in trouble, guys.
I'm not a big complier of. I just when people try to run your lives and the government, that's when we should be very afraid. People in America should be very afraid when your political figures are trying to convince law enforcement to arrest good law-abiding citizens. I do believe that the governor in Portland or the mayor of Portland, one of the two, has said
Mr. Wheeler?
there is a 30-day fine, you will be arrested and held for 30 days if you violate the amount of people in your house.
Right, but
Oh,
if
hell no.
you throw a Molotov cocktail at a police officer, you get nothing.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh no,
okay.
they've
No, wait.
released like 200,000 violent criminals out of the
Right.
jails because of COVID recently.
So Governor Kate Brown.
I'm all for cocktails.
Yeah.
But the Molotov one's not
no
so good.
thanks.
Governor Kate Brown is the governor. She's a Democrat in Oregon. She said violators to the over 10 people in your house for Thanksgiving, violators will face 30 days in jail,
Shocker.
$1,250 in fines. How is this even possible in America?
I read they were down to 6 instead of 10 in Oregon.
How are they able to tell you what you can do in your own home?
Because we take it.
Yeah.
Because we do it.
Thanks,
that's scary.
Chad. Thanks, Chad.
Yeah. Is that what Chad would say?
Yeah, that's Chad.
I'm
Yeah.
channeling Chad
Yeah.
today. He doesn't even need to come in here.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even need to come in the studio. I got it.
30 days in jail if you violate the order. It's not even a law in Oregon. But again, you can throw in Oregon, in Portland, a Molotov cocktail at an officer, and you are applauded.
Right.
You are
Right.
a hero, right? If that's I don't even
For the people.
for the people.
For the people.
So that was the meme that I love. But, the sheriffs in this area, and you have to hand it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne County Sheriff Barry Virts said, I'm not even going to contemplate the issue. It's not even going to happen. He said, first of all, it's not a law, right? And he
Thank
said,
you.
It's illegal for me to enter someone's home who isn't doing anything illegal. And he said,
Right.
and I don't have a search warrant. And I don't have a court order. So how can I enter someone's house who's not breaking the law and arrest them for violating something that's not a law? Does that even make any sense
It's
to
called
anyone?
fear, Kimberlina.
It is sad.
It's weird, is what it is.
It's a sad day in America when we are at that point in our lives where we're going, oh my God. We're very cautious of the COVID. We're very fearful. And you know what? We're not going to have people at our house because we're living in fear. I refuse to live in fear over something that is 99%
Survivable.
Survivable.
Yeah, but the new vaccine is 95% survivable.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I don't even
get
want
me
to.
started. Don't
What's
even get
the
me
point?
started on the vaccine.
What's the point?
Okay.
I mean,
Listen.
don't
Go
even
for it, okay?
Girl.
Here's what I
Here-
love.
So-
Hang on.
Here's what I love.
And now the news by Shannon Joy.
Now the news. And now the news.
I'll give you some news.
So here's the great relationship that Shannon Joy and I have, Tom. And, I have the same relationship with you and Chad. And I would say this to Chad.
I don't drink wine.
To Chad Hummel is a very outspoken, very hardcore guy with a lot of, he believes a lot of things. I don't believe everything Chad believes. I'm not going to take the same stand. I don't believe probably everything that you believe. And I certainly don't believe everything that Shannon believes, although I appreciate her ability to speak her mind, and I appreciate her thoughts, and I appreciate her passion
Based
right?
on the
She's an
this-
anti-vaxxer. I don't agree with
Oh,
that.
here she goes with the anti-vax. Knew you were going to say that.
I am a vaxxer as well, but based on Chad's and the fact that we have 70% female viewership on this show,
Yes.
Chad's just the eye candy. Let's face it.
Let's face it. Listen, you know,
they
this
think you're
is,
pretty cute too.
so Kimberly, this is something that I agree with you 100%. The discourse is important. I love good discourse. And
Having
I love
conversations without trying to cancel you out, and we'll
Right.
get to that little story from Rachel Barnhart.
Well,
in
we'll
a
talk
little
about
bit.
it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with the vaccine issue. First of all, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. My kids, some of them are vaccinated, some of them are not, because 2 of my children had very, very severe adverse reactions, both
Right.
seizure related. And so this was something that most, if you would call them anti-vaxxers, don't become anti-vaxxers until their child has been injured from a vaccine.
Sure.
And you know.
And I get that.
So most of them are not. It's not. For me, it's really. I'm not anti. Anyone who wants to take a vaccine, take a vaccine.
Sure.
In fact, some of my kids are vaccinated with certain vaccines, but there are some that I don't want my kid to take.
Right. Well, this
And
is
it's
one. This
yeah.
this Pfizer, and I think there's another one from Moderna. All of a sudden, in like 3 days, it's 99% effective. How do you know that?
Oh, that's bull. That
and
is
I don't
bull.
believe any of
Yeah.
that. And it's not. And I'm not one of these people that say, "Hey, I think they're going to shoot you up with something that they can track your whereabouts from now until the
Nanobots?
day."
Nano-
Whatever. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I know there are conspiracy theorists out there. I know that I, from time to time, can be a conspiracy theorist. But here's what I'm going to say. And I believe vaccines are good. I do believe vaccines are a great thing. They are good for society. They are good for kids. They are a good thing. I'm going to let this first round go by. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to let it kind of
Let her have a minute here and just
float
let her
out
go.
there for a second with the COVID vaccine, because I don't know if I want to grow a second head.
Your
And again-
instincts are right. Your instincts are
Right?
right. It usually takes 10 to 15 years for a normal vaccine to go through the entire process. And we're talking about human trials. I mean, to rush it in 6 months should terrify people. They're cutting corners. And we know that every pharmaceutical product, product, vaccines included, will injure or kill a small percentage of the population. This
Well,
is
I
why
mean, you always
choice is-
have your side effects.
Right.
Side effects
well, and this
are,
is why
you know,
choice is so important.
Yeah.
And now I would say, if you think there should be choice, Kimberly, then
Yeah.
you are an anti-vaxxer.
No, I'm not
Because
an
see, the
anti-vaxxer.
problem
I'm not
here,
an anti-vaxxer.
when we try to have this conversation with doctors and people who are pushing vaccines, like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mike Mendoza and Howard Zucker, we're not even allowed to have a conversation. There are very well-credentialed giants in the industry, doctors,
Yeah.
medical professionals, who would love to talk to Zucker and Mendoza and ask them questions about vaccines, but we're not allowed to have that discussion.
Well, first off,
That's the
Mendoza
problem.
doesn't take questions from anyone.
anyone.
Before Krista Lynn getting arrested for eating turkey, I'd like to add that to my resume. Wouldn't you, Krista? I know. And Diana had mentioned
I'd be
something
proud.
about she was having people over to her house too. But the thing is, I just am very cautious of something that they have thrown together so last minute. I mean, I know these people are geniuses. They wouldn't be where they are without being
I
super
wouldn't call them
smart.
geniuses.
I just don't want to take a chance with the first round of the vaccine. I mean, that's just me. Hey, if you want to be a first in line, that's great. If you want to be the guinea pig, I'm gonna take a seat on this. But you know, Mendoza, the health director for Monroe County, won't take questions. Came on our show one time before we were fired, and that's
It's a
only
badge
because
of
we
honor.
kind of lassoed him and dragged him in. I don't think he knew what show he was actually going to be on, and so all of a sudden he's sitting in our studio, and what a surprise it was to him. Nice man, but I just think that all these guys want you to live in fear. And I don't think my 86-year-old mother, who will be 87 in January, does not live in fear. We go out, we get our nails done, not recently, but she hasn't been feeling well. But Lois doesn't live in fear. And Lois says, if you get the coronavirus, you get it. I know someone that's had their groceries delivered to them for the last 4 months.
That's no way to live.
They don't go out. They got corona anyway. How did that happen? And by the way, I did take the coronavirus test. I am negative.
Well, good
You took
for
it
you,
at
girl.
CVS.
See,
Shannon, she took it at CVS,
The CVS
and
stuff.
she shoved the stick up her nose herself.
You know they have your DNA information now. Now it's stored in a database, and then
Chad
I'm
is here.
just joking. I'm just
That is
joking.
great because
Shannon did a double-blind pseudo study on her own kids.
That's
Which
right.
which ones got vaccinated and which ones didn't.
So
We're gonna find out in 20 years what works.
So last week I had the ornament of the dumpster fire.
Yes.
This week, speaking of, since we love Cuomo so much, isn't it weird talking into a camera, Shannon?
I don't know what camera to look at. I'm just saying, like,
There's only
there's so
one
much going
camera.
on here.
I know.
Like, we've got monitors, we've got cameras.
This
we've
is
got
way
mics.
professional, isn't this podcast?
This feels so good. I have not been in a studio in 8 months, and
Why?
this is amazing
What
because
do you mean?
at
You work where
iHeart,
I used to work.
at iHeart, they don't want us in the studios. Everyone's afraid of the COVID. They're afraid of the corona.
We demanded to be in the studio to do our job. I know there are some that,
Yeah,
anyway, but they don't let you in to do your job.
I can't go in there.
That's ridiculous.
I mean,
that
I
is
want to.
so ridiculous.
I miss being in a studio. It's a different feel.
I
I
feel-
mean, I talk to the wall. I stare at the wall and talk to myself.
That's
That's
not
my
good
show.
for mental health. You need to be with us and Tom and the empty seat that
You
is
mean
that.
you're not supposed
He
to talk to
comes
the
in
wall?
in a turkey suit. What is not to love about Kimberly's Revolution
Anything
Live?
for the show, Kimberlina.
This is the most fun I've had at
Hi,
ages.
Chad.
I love it.
There he is. It's an empty seat. So last
Hey,
week,
buddy, give me 5.
did you see the ornament of the dumpster fire?
No.
The 2020 Christmas ornament last week was the dumpster
Oh,
fire
it's
ornament.
perfect. So perfect.
This week, I have that was the dumpster fire ornament,
Perfect. I
right?
love it. I want
That was
one.
last week. You have to have one. How can you not?
I'm gonna get one.
How can you resist? This week's must-have item, and you know, I love to be the girl that brings all these items to you, is the Cuomo elf on a shelf. Have you seen this?
Oh,
Nice.
that's so perfect.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, that's so
There
perfect.
He is. That's
It's so terrifying. The kids, I mean, that's enough to terrify any little young one into behaving.
isn't it? The Cuomo elf on the shelf. He's
That's
in
where
your
he
living
wants
room.
to be.
size.
That's where he wants to be.
He wants to be in your living room telling you how you can live your life, and I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Go, girl.
If I'm going to let some guy sitting in some house in some, capital city.
With nipple rings.
He is
Quite
single,
frankly.
isn't he? Isn't he
Everyone
single?
knows.
It's kind of hot. Hot. The nipple rings. Speaking of
I
hot,
throw up in
Shannon's
them.
family is like picture perfect model family. All your children and your husband.
Devastatingly handsome. That's what I call him.
He is devastatingly handsome, like our Tom,
Thank you, Kimberlina.
who just bought a hot tub. How
I
is that
did.
hot tub? Is it installed?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it was going great until I
Nice.
put it on economy mode, and apparently you're not supposed to do that because
I don't
the
even know what
temperature-
that is.
Well, when it's cold, yeah, the temperature just dropped
I
like
don't know.
10 degrees.
I have hot flashes, so I can't have a hot tub. That would just exacerbate the
Yeah.
issue, wouldn't it? Yeah, I can't do that.
2020's been a great year.
And it's about to get greater, right?
They need to do a Rockefeller Christmas tree, the Charlie Brown Rockefeller Christmas tree ornament. That is good. Oh, I have an accessory.
Oh, I've got the picture of that.
Do
you want to
you?
see it? The
Yes.
one that was just sent to New York City?
It's so fitting.
Do we have the Christmas tree?
So fitting.
It's sad and just sparse.
sad.
Where'd they get it?
Sad little tree.
It is. I don't know if we have that. Do you-
Someplace upstate New York.
There it is. Oh, there it is. Do you see it? Oh, he's making it bigger.
Sad.
Look at how
tree.
bare it is. What
Someone
is
told
going
me
on
that
with
was
that?
fake news. They're like, Shannon, you're posting. They were very serious. They were very serious. They said I posted fake news because they haven't fluffed up the tree yet.
Yeah, it looks like a pencil
That's
with
just the way the
something
tree.
on it.
You can't fluff that
You
up.
can't fluff
You can't
that up.
fluff
I don't know
that
what
up.
they're going to do. We're fluffing. How
There's
much
no
fluffing
fluffing.
can you do? You need to get porn stars from every major network to come
Uh-oh.
up with that thing. Oh, no. Porn star. Put porn star on it.
Oh, that's too funny. He's here.
You missed the turkey. He
missed
took
the
off
time.
the outfit because he was.
It was
It was a little
special.
warm wearing a Snuggie.
I didn't really know what to think walking into the studio. When I walked into the studio,
Right.
there was a turkey sitting in the. He's like, "Hey, all right,
Chad, we don't need you. Shannon's
it's an
here.
interesting party."
I was listening. I did catch the turkey for a brief second.
I'm the
I got in
female
the car.
version of you. I've heard.
I
Yeah.
heard that too.
He is a little bit of the
All right.
female version of
I
you.
like it.
Yeah. So we were just talking about Zoom's giving. because Cuomo is trying to make sure that everyone lives in fear of the cops coming to bust down your door, which, by the way, thankfully, the very smart sheriffs of this area have said, we're not even going to deal. We're not going to deal. You also missed the whole, conversation about we're going to sit out on the first round of the corona vaccine.
Well, Kimberly called me an anti-vaxxer, too.
You are
She couldn't resist.
But I love you.
I know you.
Listen, when I was driving here, I listened to the last 15 minutes. I heard the anti-vaxxer accusations. I almost drove off the road.
Right?
one thing-
Unfounded, don't you think? I mean, I think unfounded. I told Kimberly she's an according to the people, it's
choice.
Vaccinazi or anti-vaxxer. That's all they're going to let you choose from. It's all binary.
Why
It's
so
220.
Why so much name calling?
Do I have to salute Tom?
You do.
I was going to buy the hat that went with it, but I just thought it was over the top.
There is
But then I realized I was wearing a turkey suit.
I just love the guy comes in a turkey suit. I about fall over.
Listen, just
perfect.
real quick. Don't mean to interrupt, but my only criticism of the show while I was away,
Oh, great.
Oh, no.
and it's on you, Shannon.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
What the heck?
we got to criticize the guest first.
She's the guest.
She said, "That's bull. That's bull."
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm
you can
yelling
say-
in the car.
you can
You
say
can
shit."
say bullshit, Shannon.
No FCC rules?
This is a podcast.
No one that can fire you.
That's super exciting. That's so okay. I know now what the rules are.
It's
All
bull
right.
shit.
Oh,
It
my-
is.
Okay. All right.
So you know what?
That's all.
You know
Go on,
what?
carry on.
We're
love
not,
it.
We're not doing the Zooms giving. We're not going to be first in line for the COVID vaccine. Neither should you.
Or the second
you
in
should,
line.
You should live your life for Thanksgiving and have your friends and family over because you don't know when the next time you're going to see friends and family. I mean, day to day, we're all day to day, right?
Right.
But here's my husband went to get. Hey, Patty. There, I know he's a half hour late, Patty. What am I going to do with him? Patty, of course, a realtor with Revere Realty, which I just want to say, I sold a house before it was even listed for over asking.
There-
Oh my God!
congratulations,
Oh,
Which
girl.
means we get no commission because it wasn't even listed.
we do get commission. Yeah. Yes. We,
Really? I don't know
it's
how
not
that
a-
works.
No, we will.
Oh, we will.
Well, you
Yeah.
will someday. You'll be
Oh, yeah.
you'll be working for us. Don't worry about
I
it.
don't work for free, ever. Yeah. So, where was I? Oh, so New York City schools are going to completely shut down.
Of course they are.
In Oregon, you heard 30
Criminal.
days in jail. It's criminal. They're
Yep.
making it criminal.
Of course it is.
And the whole thing is ridiculous. So I thought this was kind of a learning moment. And by the way, thank you to our sponsor, Fantuzzo Acupuncture, who we love. And if you're having any kind of health issues, migraines, they will help you out.
That's where I was. That's
Make
why
you-
I was late.
Were you at Fantuzzo Acupuncture?
You were getting cupping, Chad?
I wish I could say I was being
They
cuffed,
do
but-
cupping.
What is up with cupping?
It really
Sounds
loosens your
weird.
back.
Like some kind of weird thing.
Who's the swimmer? Michael Phelps.
Michael
Okay.
Spitz.
Michael Phelps. He had it done. I guess it loosens up,
Okay.
back muscles if you have shoulder, issues.
All right.
I believe it has oxygen through your blood and gets your moving better.
I would like
I'll
to
try
say I
anything
know.
once.
I have no idea. But they do it at Fantuzzo Acupuncture.
Do they cup turkeys?
Only Tom.
Yes.
Don't be a turkey.
Only
I missed
Tom.
the whole "don't be a turkey" segment. I'm so
Don't
mad.
be
a
a
turkey.
turkey. You don't want to be the turkey on
What a
Thanksgiving.
Jackass.
I
Don't
couldn't
be
resist.
a turkey.
Today in the
You
show,
don't
I had to
want to
use
be
his sound
the turkey
sound
on
bites. I'm
Thanksgiving.
like, this is too delicious. This is just
You
too
can't
like
not.
these.
Yeah?
These sound bites are gold.
Yes, they are.
Like he's crazy.
Yeah, he's losing it.
Speaking of crazy,
Why are you looking at me?
Who else is she going to look at?
there is
Shannon,
a,
you're off the hook now that I'm here.
there's a former TV reporter in this town who's Twitter happy, right? And who has called out for me to be fired.
What real
before.
estate company does she work at?
I don't think she works at a
You're
real-
not really a broadcaster unless you work for real estate companies
Right.
too.
So she, Rachel Barnhart.
Yeah, let her know. We'll hire her.
Yeah, of course, right?
All right.
I don't not like Rachel. I like Rachel. Again, I appreciate her passion.
Man, talk about half-stepping it.
She's got a lot of things to say. I appreciate anyone who says what they want to say without fear, right? I have
Right.
nothing against, but
Fearless Radio.
I did not know
Commentary.
when you tweeted yesterday, Shannon.
Right.
What's your handle on Twitter, by the way?
So my handle is @Shannon Joy Radio for anyone who would like bold, unapologetic tweets.
And just like you, she is bold and unapologetic, as am I. And
I apologize for everything, Kimberly.
we have to have one
In
person
fact, I'm sorry now for apologizing.
We have to have one person apologizing. But
Yes.
But we
yes,
have to salute you, though.
I saw this tweet and I thought, I didn't know that. I thought it was very informational. I didn't think it was way out of line. I didn't think it was shameful. I didn't think it was any of the other, adjectives used to describe
Right.
the tweet. Basically, you tweeted that there were masks used on slaves back in the day,
Right.
when they were bringing them over to this country, and you showed pictures of those
Historical.
masks.
Yeah.
Was it just the black slaves or the white slaves or both slaves?
It
or-
was.
There were a few different races. I found these were very easily found on Google. If you Google masking as a part of slavery throughout history, you'll
I had
find
no idea.
multiple stories, and those are readily available on Google. And
And
you
there
know,
were different types of masks for
Yeah,
slaves.
there
And I
were-
didn't know that. Honestly, I had no idea.
Oh, it's stunning. Well, masking has been represents a form of subjugation for centuries. I mean,
Yeah.
this is something that even in certain cultures where women are forced to mask,
Right.
it
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
it's indicative of ownership.
Rachel
Right.
missed.
Okay.
Rachel missed all that. She was absent that day at racist school
Yeah.
when they
Right.
taught Democrats how to accuse people of being racist.
I
She missed that
disavow.
day.
Right. So you tweeted that picture, and you tweeted that today's.
I tweeted that I believe the specific tweet was throughout history, slaves have been masked. So it was a 100% factual tweet, and it
Right.
was meant to spark imagination and discussion
Facts.
about what we are currently undergoing as a society with coerced, forced masking.
Absolutely.
which is I mean,
and then
whole
the
other
shaming
topic.
if you don't wear the mask.
Right.
The public shaming of people. The
Scarlet Letter.
It really
Right.
kind of is. And of course, this particular woman in politics, Rachel
Barnhart.
said, off with her head. She needs to be gone from the radio airwaves.
Rachel
Stop.
officially calls for my termination and the end of my show on the news radio station that I
She
work
did.
for. And, you know, she thinks because she's Rachel, she can do that. And quite frankly, she has been. We look at Jeremy Capel, who is a very good friend, and what happened to you and Barry in Rochester.
Yeah.
And there are many examples of this mob mentality where they go out, they call for someone. There's no room for reason or discussion.
It's
There's
the
no
craziest thing.
conversation. And it is simply because they want to shut our voices
Yes.
down.
They
It's because
want
Rachel
everyone
doesn't
removed.
agree with what I believe politically. It is the only reason for her doing that. And I have no animosity towards her. I have no malice towards her. I agree. I
do.
respect her for what she's accomplished.
I don't.
But I'll tell you what, when this kind of stuff happens, first and foremost, she can't scare me. Okay? I
Well-
don't get scared. I love my job, but I'm not married to my job.
Yeah.
It is like Ecclesiastes and Proverbs. Like, I care a lot, but not that much.
Footloose.
Right?
I know,
like,
right?
I am a hustler. I don't make that much money anyway. If they yank me off of Wham for that factual, truthful tweet, well then, God bless me. She doesn't scare me.
So Kimberly, you're Playboy, and Shannon's Hustler.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right?
Gotta go there.
It all boils down to sex.
Well,
It's all boils
I've
down-
always been a hustler, but
Yeah. But I just thought, why is it that the first thing people call for when they don't like what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. They
You're
wanna-
done. We
Yeah.
want you fired.
They wanna
we
attack
want you
your
gone.
paycheck.
And so someone said, "Oh, Kimberly, you'll find a way to get yourself fired." And I had to say, no, I don't think I will. I mean, unless I really piss you off, I don't think I will find myself fired. I mean, we're selling houses.
now
we're
you work
doing
for yourself.
We're doing well.
Independence, baby.
I know.
That is the lesson
It's
of
nice.
independence right there.
So I owe
And-
these guys
Which is
a lot.
anti-slavery.
Which
right?
is anti-slavery, and that's the thing. What Rachel doesn't understand is that I am independent. I'm an independent contractor, and so the rules, in a lot of ways, don't apply to me. Could she launch something and really go after me? Probably, but you know what? I love Jesus. He'll take care of me. I'm just not worried about it.
Is it wrong
Right?
for me to root that she gets fired?
Well, come on. and the thing is, I go.
Little
I'm a
selfish there.
feather. I just float wherever he takes me. I float, and so it just doesn't
Kind of
scare
like
me.
in
but-
Forrest Gump.
Yes.
I, like
I was just
that with
thinking
the
that.
feather, right?
Yeah, yeah.
See, I think that we put together the dream.
Jenny?
When you were talking about that, the dream team. The dream team.
This is kind of
Yeah.
fun. I have to say.
Do you
I
not
hear you.
want me to talk about
I
the
have
dream
to say.
team?
Go for
with
it.
your idea that you were coming up with?
Jenny.
We should
You guys lure me in here.
We all, and by the way, so my birthday was last Friday.
That was exactly.
It's
it
still,
was last
it's still
Friday.
going, though, isn't it?
Can I? No, my birthday's still not going.
The
listen,
operative word there was last
I'm
Friday.
Old, I'm old enough now where
you're
one
older.
night is really.
That's all you can handle is one night,
all I can
Kimberlita?
handle. So we were at a restaurant downtown Rome. Have you ever been? It's fabulous. It's
Never.
fabulous.
No.
Never been. People were eating outside. It was raining because of the whole COVID thing. People are eating outside. They're
Yeah.
telling you, have your Thanksgiving outside. I think we mentioned this, the CDC.
Yeah, it'll be warm.
Last week. Yeah, the CDC is in Atlanta. I don't know if anyone knows that.
Right.
But honestly, and I said to my husband, I said, I can't believe they're eating outside. I mean, at 7:30 on Friday night, it was a little chilly.
We're desperate.
And they've got these heaters, and I'm like, I'm not eating outside. I want to go to the bar and have a drink without having to order food. These are things I like to do. But yet we've been scared into stopping all fun activity and trying to keep to ourselves and
No fun for you.
no fun for you.
We have four
Says the
people.
Mad King.
We have 4 people at this table. This is legal at the restaurant, right? 4
that-
people at a table.
That's
You
it.
know what it is, though? It's
That's
that
the
the
yellow zone.
restaurants, and I got thrown out of one of my favorite retailers, small retail store. Love this woman. So I'm not going to say the name of her business on air, okay? But it's because they caved to the bullies. I was shopping, minding my own business. I had on my fishnet mask,
Nice.
which is what I wear to provoke people. If I'm feeling randy. I'm minding my own business. Some busybody comes up in the store. You have to, that girl, blah, blah. So they come up to me and say, Shannon, I've been shopping here forever. They know me.
Yeah.
Okay. Shannon, we're so sorry. Can you please wear this mask? And
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious right now? But I had a great big armload full of awesome clothes. And so I'm not going to just put it back. So I put on their
I
stupid
would.
Did
mask.
you have a turkey suit?
No. So I put on
She
the
look cute in the turkey suit, right? Party City. I highly recommend.
I put on the
Must
mask.
have.
I put on the mask under my nose and go about my business. They come back. It's not good enough for her. Can you put it over their nose? And I'm like, at this point, the
That's
owner,
harassment.
Well-
At this point, that is harassment.
right? But the
And
owner comes up to me crying. She feels so bad, but she's like, you got to leave. And it's because the owners of the establishments are caving. You have like 2 polarizing groups. One doesn't want to wear a mask. One insists everyone wears a mask.
How about mind your own freaking business?
Yeah.
How about this? I'm in a store shopping, and there's not enough people shopping at these businesses in the first place.
Exactly.
That's the sad part. There's
Right.
not enough. Last week we were over here at an establishment, and we were there at what time? 5:30, and we're like,
Place was empty.
where is everyone?
right.
Businesses
they can't survive that way.
withstand crazy people, and they can't withstand crazy people bullying good, hard-working, money-spending people in their businesses.
Right.
It's got to stop. It needs
Yeah.
to stop.
Shannon, you're a better person than me. I once, I haven't gone back to a pizza place in 10 years because they wouldn't give me $2 off on a coupon. So.
Oh, man. You hold a grudge.
Yeah.
You're one of those kind of guys.
I am.
Are you going to
All
go
right.
back to
Of course I will. And I understand what the business
I
owners are
wouldn't.
going through. Here's the thing. They have, and this is where Mike Mendoza and Adam Bello are everything. Like, people
Yep.
get mad about what's going on, and they're like, let's go to Albany and tell Cuomo what to do. Cuomo doesn't care if you go to Albany. He doesn't care if you take 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000. It doesn't matter. But Mendoza and Bello do not have to be Nazis themselves. And they are going in. Dr. Mendoza is sending his agents. I've talked to churches, private schools, public schools, businesses. It's the health department. They're like swarming us,
Isn't it
threatening
interesting
us.
that, it's got to really piss them off, right? Bello, who is all of a sudden has a head like this because he thinks he is a ruler of all.
Exactly.
And Mendoza, how much do you think it pisses them off that the sheriffs are saying, we're out?
Well, it's good.
We're out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're
but
lucky.
here's the problem though. I got just a slightly different take. I heard the sheriff discussion on my way out here, and I heard what the sheriffs had to say too. I read what Barry Virts had said.
There's one in Fulton County, I
Yeah.
think, that's saying, hey, I'm not even going to bother with it.
Here's the problem though. If you read between the lines with what they're saying, in fact, I think if you read what Barry Virts actually said, you can glean out of that he knows that there's an avenue there for the public health law and for enforcement by the public health law officials.
Big issue. You're right.
Yeah. And what concerns me is the sheriffs right now are playing politics with it. They're trying to appease both sides, right? On one side, they're telling everyone that is only listening to half the story, don't worry, we're not going to look in your window. And then everybody starts jumping up and down and clapping, and that sounds great. But on the other side of it, what they're telling, people like Cuomo and Bello and Mendoza in their message is, you guys have the public health law. And if you guys want to take that avenue and send people in, pull people's liquor licenses, issue summonses, they can still
And
issue
that's okay.
summonses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Under
then
the
you
public
have to
health
go.
law.
You have to go to just laws and unjust laws. Sometimes there are laws put in place that are unjust. In fact, everything that went down in Nazi Germany was legal.
Yes.
Okay,
scary.
Slavery was legal.
Yes.
Slavery was legal.
With
Segregation
masks.
was legal. And so, Chad, that's a really important point that people don't consider. It will never be right for a sheriff to enforce any law that violates the Constitution of the United States of America and the Bill of Rights as laid out. First Amendment, Second Amendment,
Yeah.
Or
Fourth
Tom-
Amendment, Fifth Amendment.
Or if it violates Tom's outfit.
Fashion police violates our fashion code.
I'm going to open a
sound-
1920s prohibition
Speakeasy.
underground bar named COVID.
I love it. I love it. I'll
That
go.
is a brilliant
I'll go.
idea.
'Cause
That
I'm
is a
bored.
brilliant idea. Who doesn't love a little
Drinking.
speakeasy?
Ma-
Naughty,
masks are
naughty.
optional.
Yeah. No mask.
No,
No
mask.
mask.
Wearing-
No mas.
Listen, here's the only reason I wear a mask anywhere. I just don't want to be that person that they take the video of. That's honestly.
She doesn't
I don't
wanna be me.
I don't want to be that
See, that's
girl.
the difference between that's the difference,
Cowards.
Kimberly. That's the difference
listen.
between you and Chad. And Chad, they
I-
want the video taken. of them.
I've
I
had
don't.
my fair share of trauma this year. All right, I can't take any more trauma.
It is traumatic.
Yeah, but no, I don't want to be that person who some busybody goes, oh, look, here's Kimberly, thinks she's blah blah blah, blah. And I don't, I don't need that. I got a
It's
kid.
free
who is-
advertising.
I got a kid who's a police officer. It's
can
bad,
bail you out.
Bad enough to be a police officer now, and I got a husband that's in corrections. I don't want to be in it. I think my life has been not only traumatic on me this last couple of months,
Right,
but also
right.
I just don't want a video of me out there, and someone will take one, right?
Right.
Because that's how people
the-
are.
They
want-
bank
wanna-
on that,
They
though.
want to catch you.
See
They want
that?
to get you. They want to go, ooh, we
So,
got you.
so the topless 7 was perfectly fine, but you got to
Yeah.
have a mask on.
Completely.
Okay.
No, but they bank. That's what they
just
bank
trying
on,
to be
though.
just trying to be clear here.
I mean, that's what my
Yeah.
kids say to me. Like, we go to Wegmans, and I'm like not wearing a mask because big store. If it's a friend, I will wear a mask because I don't want to make my political stand
Right.
at their expense. But Walmart, Target, Wegmans, gas stations, I do not wear a mask, and the kids are rolling their eyes. Like, Mom,
Podcasts.
really? Does everything that you do have to be a And
Yes.
they're like, why do you do
Yes.
this? And I'm like, listen. Hello.
We got a little.
I got a little
Sound-
reverb. Little
sound coming
reverb,
in.
little.
There we go.
Oh, there we
No,
go.
but
That's-
it's like I feel like I have to put my money where my mouth is. If I say on the show I'm not going to wear a mask, I
Then
want
you don't-
to. I want to do it. And so my husband, my kids, they
I
don't
know,
care.
right?
They don't care about them. But it's the same thing. They just don't want to be bothered.
So we're doing the show next Wednesday. It is next Wednesday, right? Yes. I'm looking at Fitzy and through the next Wednesday.
Remind me not to move my left foot again. That
So
didn't
Wednesday,
go well.
but how many people are you having at Thanksgiving?
I'm going to somebody's house and there'll be more than 10.
Chad?
At least 10.
At least 10? I
At
mean, there are
least
some
10.
families that are like 10, right?
Yeah, my family's 6
Shannon?
alone.
we're between 16 and 20.
Okay, so we have 14.
So good. They're going to come
We
to
have-
Shannon's house first.
We
I'm
have
in
14.
an undisclosed location. They'll never find me. You try. I did.
FUAC. FUAC. Right?
Yes.
You know what that stands for, right?
I'm waiting for you to tell me.
I disavow.
I disavow.
Well, FU.
Yeah.
Profanity.
Andrew Cuomo.
Oh, yeah,
FUAC.
very
Okay,
good. I'm
that's
glad,
acceptable.
I'm glad you spelled that out for me.
Yeah.
Glad you spelled that out for me.
I'm here
there
for
he
you.
is.
I'm here
Yelp on
for
the
you.
show.
There he is.
He's so cute on that
He
show.
is sexy.
I may or may not have emailed Sheriff Baxter earlier this week and been like, what's it like in the clink? Because I just want to let you know I'm like violating all of these.
My husband can tell you. He works at the state facility for
Clink?
women. The Clink, yeah.
Well, I mean, the way I'm going,
Exactly.
that's where I'm going to end up.
Colonel Clink.
Exactly. So
See nothing?
So Kimberly's Revolution, I mean, we're on our 9th episode,
Yeah.
and today's episode is called Don't Be a Turkey.
Don't be a turkey.
Don't be a turkey. You don't want to be the turkey on Thanksgiving.
Don't want to be the turkey on Thanksgiving.
You're going to show your family how much you love them by staying home.
You gotta have the right to party.
I see. Yeah.
That's-
Dun, dun, dun.
How you show them how you love them. You stay home.
That's it.
Don't
Yeah.
be a turkey.
Yeah.
Do you think he jumped the
Don't
shark?
be a turkey.
Do you think finally did he jump the shark, Cuomo, with this? Like canceling
yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas?
I
Like, I
la-
get hopeful.
I lasted
and then
until
my
about
hopes are-
April, and then I turned them off.
You know, that, stay home, don't go anywhere. And the jobless claims were through the roof again this past week. You knew that, right?
Yep.
People are hurting. So you're telling them not to see the relatives. It's even worse. I don't even get it. The other thing I wanted to bring up is you have 3 kids. They're going to be going to
Yeah.
college soon, right?
Ish. I have 14. How old is she again? 12.
Uh-oh.
Perfect.
When you have too many
Fitzy,
children.
don't worry, Fitzy will edit that if we need be.
14, 12, and 8.
And 8.
Yeah.
And your twins
they're
just had a
babies.
birthday.
Yeah, my twins
They're
just turned
babies.
13.
Your twins just turned 13.
On
He's got
Tuesday.
twin girls, God help him, that are Scorpios nonetheless.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
And
And then I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son.
is 17. And Tom, your kids are grown, right?
Well,
They're in
by
college.
the time Shannon's kids get to like in their 20 something, then my son might be ready to get married. So he's 27 now. So
Okay.
Here's what I love. You know the Lori Loughlin. You know the whole
Yes.
college scandal with trying to pay
Yes.
people
Aunt
off
Becky.
to get their kids into
how do you
these
not like Aunt Becky?
prestigious colleges, and they're paying these people on the side upwards of $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 to lie to get their kids into these prestigious universities and have someone take tests for them, and they're paying out this incredible. They're cheating.
Yeah,
to
they're
get
on
their
the
kids-
rowing team,
Yes, the crew team.
the crew team.
Lori
yes.
Loughlin's daughters, who are
Can't you
beautiful.
just give an endowment? Isn't that how everyone gets their kids in college? You
Exactly.
just give an endowment. Like
People who are smart, right? Just give an endowment. But
duh.
But so Massimo Giannulli, who is Lori Loughlin's Aunt Becky's husband, went into prison, the federal prison, to start serving his 2 months behind bars. She's currently doing time.
Wow.
At probably some federal cupcake prison. I'm not sure where. Probably the same one Martha Stewart was in. But he started serving his time today. Did you see the picture? He tried to tough himself up. Look at that.
Oh, my
All of a
Lanta.
sudden, he looks like Heisenberg.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's a tough looking picture.
That's what. That's
Shaved
before.
his head.
And then that's
Grew the
today.
beard. Yeah.
When they took the picture of Massimo Giannulli going in to do his 2 months.
He figures Bubba won't get him if he looks
Yeah,
like
what-
that, huh?
You think you got to?
Wouldn't they think he looks sexier like that? Isn't that the opposite? See, I'd go the other way.
He kind of looks like a douche tool in the one. In the other picture where he's all roughed up, it's kind of hot,
Yeah,
kinda
That's what
sexy.
I'm saying.
I think he looks better in the second picture, totally.
right?
Yeah.
With the bald head and
It's
he
a
looks-
look. It's kind of in right now.
Well, you three can talk about how hot he looks
kinda-
in those pictures,
It's kind
but
of
I'm gonna,
he looks like a Star Wars.
I'm just going to
character.
stick with I'm a man for this
Are you a man?
segment.
Well, Chad, if she's
This
if
isn't a
she's
gender-
manly man.
if she's Playgirl, and I forget what Shannon was, you're Playgirl. She's Playboy.
Oh,
and-
good gosh.
No, never mind.
So, oh, there he is. You,
Hunter!
Hunter.
You
We
missed
found
it.
Hunter.
Chad.
There I am.
And doesn't this blow
There's
your
Chad.
mind?
Here's Hunter.
What happened to the money and the Russian and the China and the mayor's wife of Moscow, and what happened to that whole Biden story?
Yeah.
He got it turned into voter fraud.
What does anybody have any idea what,
What happened to all the
Doesn't
money
matter.
for the Cancer Foundation?
It doesn't
Where'd that
matter.
all go?
Would
It doesn't matter. These scandals.
Kamala.
I mean, I stopped at Benghazi when
Yeah, right.
when I started my radio program 8 years ago. It was a year in Benghazi came. I was very earnest, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to understand all of this so that I
Yeah.
can report back to my audience. And I was up till 2 a.m, for an entire week. I mean, I'm getting out the maps. I'm studying Middle East history. I mean, I'm going back to like ancient history.
You were
with
way in the weeds,
I
is
was
what I'm
in.
getting-
I'm
you're way
in
in
the
the
weeds,
weeds.
right? And
Yeah.
I'm following every bit of this story. And I'm
put her
like-
slave
and
mask on.
I mean, I'm earnest on this. And it's like we go through the process. And Trey Gowdy, you know, everyone loves Trey Gowdy.
yeah.
He's like
He
the
went
cowboy.
nuts, yeah.
He was my political boyfriend for a while. I'm like, you're
You
the
liked
best.
him, did you?
I
Yeah.
liked him.
Yeah.
And it's like, then at the very end, like we go through this whole
Now there's
process.
a man that I liked.
Yeah. Not anymore. I mean, not anymore because they're
No.
all. It's
No,
all
they all
like
bailed
they're all
out.
so great, and then the whole thing came to this big crescendo, and it's just like wah wah wah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
nothing. And I'm like, I am never. And I went
You're
back.
never going to get into that
I'm never
deeply
getting into
again.
it because
right?
it's all. I think they do it on purpose just to distract us from all the bull crap that they're pulling
But it's-
behind the scenes.
But the whole voter fraud and the not paying attention to it and the not digging deep into it and then the not digging, for how many years? 2.5 years they tried to pin, Trump with the whole
3.
Russian,
Russian collusion.
colluding.
Russia.
That's all we heard. And then all of a sudden,
Bob Mueller.
there's the laptop that has all the documents on it.
And it all points to the Democrats.
Zip.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Does that strike anyone
Yeah.
as a
No.
little odd?
Perfectly
that
fine.
everything just went away, that the media isn't covering the whole Hunter Biden or the Cancer Foundation that hasn't put out 1 single cent on
Right.
cancer research, right? Nothing.
Don't be a turkey.
I think it's because they're both. I think it's because both parties are completely corrupt, and they
Yes.
both
Well,
are
the
grifters.
media is corrupt.
and the media is corrupt.
The
They're all
media is
together.
corrupt.
We have layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of corruption.
This
Yeah,
podcast
it's-
is corrupt.
Which is why they all want to
I'm
get rid of
corrupt.
Trump.
Fitzy, this is corrupt.
If I could find a way to make money that, and not ever get caught illegally, I'd be the first one.
Kimberly's corrupt.
I got a lawyer, right? I got a lawyer right here. He does a great job.
Send her back to Nothnagel or wherever she came
Well, I
from.
didn't come
Poor
from
Chad.
nothing. No, I'm here with Revere Realty, and that's
What was that company that fired you?
Which one?
The
company that shall never
it happened
be
like
named.
twice in a month.
At
my
some point in
Lanta.
time, I got to get out of the city because I've been fired by 2 radio companies and a realty company.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Is it cool?
I want to be just like you. Knock on wood.
Right.
That's why there's
Like you really don't have radio host bona fides until you've
Well,
been
as
fired.
long as
I, well,
that's why there's 4
but I own
seats in
my own
here.
business, so I can't fire myself.
That's
so
why
I don't know.
that's why there's 4 seats in here.
Uh-oh.
Tom has
Don't
the
point
great
that pencil
idea.
at me.
Tom has the great idea of a speakeasy. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Could we find a way to get that financed? We got to
Sure.
find a way to get the COVID bar.
COVID bar.
Do it a little speakeasy.
I
You come
would-
in and
They
you
won't
bring-
give us a liquor license.
Donations only.
No, you bring your own.
Bring
Oh,
your
yeah,
own.
you're right. You
bring
Donations
It's like
only.
the
Liquor
Elks.
license.
It's like the Elks Club. It's
Yeah.
like the private club, and
Yeah,
you
you're
bring your
right.
own. You don't, as long as you don't serve. You are the attorney, not me. How do I know this and not you?
All
You know,
right.
I can't think of everything.
Chad Shannon's the new president of the company.
So,
I don't drink.
Right.
and I said I would get to what's going on in Greece. Last week, it was still it was my assumption in Greece that they still had the auditors there trying to figure out for the court system what happened to all the receipt booklets. They only found 1 receipt booklet, the auditors, dating back to 1978. All the receipt booklets for the court have
Disappeared.
disappeared. The judge, Judge Barry, and his daughter-in-law, whom he got hired, who had not 1 ounce of court management experience, both stepped down on the same day. And since then, there has been a whole lot of ridiculousness going on in the Greece town court system. I know you know a little bit about this, Chad.
That happens in Greece every decade or so.
Well, now that it's being investigated by the Inspector General in Albany, and it's also they brought in state auditors who have been there for several weeks, and I do believe it's not going to fare well for some of the people in Greece town court management. But there were several people that they tried to, you know how it is when you've done something wrong, but you want to try to make it appear that someone else is doing something even worse. So
Yes, you call them a racist.
right. You do something like that, but you try to get
I
the attention.
disavow.
You want the attention off you. Put the attention on someone else.
You're a racist.
Get it away from you. Don't want to have. Just make everyone look.
is racist.
You voted for Trump.
Look a different direction, right? Look different direction. So they have They put 4 of the, I think, the judges' clerks on suspension. They have now fired 2 of them. So they're just kind of doing it
Well, didn't they have
piecemeal.
extra judges anyways?
Well, Judge Barry was the extra judge that
Yeah.
they made a space for, that they
Correct.
didn't really need. They didn't need him.
After he got unelected from Supreme Court after his 14-year term.
Is unelected as in the people didn't vote for him, probably for a very good reason.
That's
Because the
correct.
whole family is freaking corrupt. I mean, did I say that? Did I say that? Did I,
I mean,
say that?
I
know,
didn't hear it.
I know berries, and I've
said
always
it.
really liked them. But I mean, I think you would need to figure out what's going on. I mean, I
Well,
don't know.
there's been impropriety, and I think that once the daughter-in-law got in, who didn't know how, and mismanagement took place to the point where the inspector general comes in and says, oh, "What's going on?" And then the audit turns up missing money.
I'd be curious to see what the whole story is. I mean,
Gary
there's definitely.
Craig with the Democrat and Chronicle.
Is that
Well,
still a
if
thing?
it's the Democrat and Chronicle, well then, I mean,
Well,
anyway.
I know, but I do love
Right.
my Gary Craig.
Okay.
He is a very good journalist. He's been on it, but still, they're firing these people who raise the red flag on what's been going on. That's not right. You're firing the people that kind of were the whistleblowers.
The whistleblower, yeah.
They were the whistleblowers, and you fired them. If it doesn't make you look guilty, I don't know what does. You have to stop the stupid.
I wish that the
Greece.
Democrat and Chronicle would actually ask tough questions of Mike Mendoza and Adam Bello. I think the scandal that is being inflicted upon this community by those two megalomaniacs
Isn't there a lawsuit?
is. I mean, we have to file FOIL. We have to launch lawsuits. We can't get any information from them, and that's because the media, Democrat and Chronicle, Channel 8, Channel 10, Channel 13, refuse to ask
They won't-
questions.
Well,
or
there's
follow
no one
questions.
there that well, you know why?
Or they're not
Because
smart enough to ask.
they're not smart enough, and they don't have the balls to ask the.
Why?
Right.
What
I don't know.
what are they afraid of? Good grief!
I know
only-
they're afraid.
Drives
the only
me
person,
crazy.
the only person that has had an opportunity, that's gotten a microphone and has been able to ask any tough questions has been Wendy Mills, with is it Spectrum?
Wendy
Spectrum.
Wright.
Wendy
with,
Wright.
with Spectrum.
Sorry, who's Wendy
She's
Mills?
excellent.
Is it
I have
Wendy
no
Mills?
idea.
I
I
think
just
it's
hope
the same girl. Isn't
I
it the
hope
same
she's
girl?
still there. I was going to send
Yeah.
her a text and make sure she's okay because I know that.
I
there was-
watched her ask in 2 separate interviews. I watched her ask the only questions where they were actually forced
Love
to,
Wendy Wright.
to get out of their narrative. In other words, they were just going, at it with
Yeah.
their lockdowns and their masks and their lockdowns and
How
their
many
masks.
masks should we order? How
Yeah.
many tests should we take? How
Yeah,
many
exactly.
schools should we close?
Why-
It's just the
how often
worst,
should we bad to the rest of the sheep? I mean,
dumbest
it's a-
questions.
Yeah.
Oh, give me 3 questions. Get me in a room with them.
They'll
Give
never
me
talk
3
to you.
questions.
Put
They
the
don't-
gloves on.
Well, first off, they'll never talk to anyone that asks tough questions.
Yeah.
Ever, right?
Do
They're
we
not-
have
No doubt.
Do we have rights as member of the press? Like, could we say, like, do they have to answer our questions?
They don't.
You think this podcast qualifies us as members of the
I
press?
have I have a legitimate show.
Well, you got
This is a legitimate show.
you got
Really?
She
you
just
got
came on the show and dissed us all.
Yeah.
you got
Who said it?
I did. You're right. No, you got Bob Duffy on your program,
I got Bob Duffy on
and
my
you nailed him to the
program.
wall.
Well, maybe that's why Mike Mendoza won't. They won't come
Yeah,
on. They
you tried-
will not come.
Yeah, you were
on.
headed for Mendoza and Bello. That was going to be your
And
lineup.
they won't do it.
And she got Duffy on, and I give him credit for
Duffy,
coming
Duffy's
on.
a great interview.
But
Yeah, I mean,
he got smoked, and he
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. And
Well, and here's the thing. I've been trying to get Rachel Barnhart on the program for years.
she usually
For years.
She was on our show.
We had a cordial
All the
relationship.
time.
I have a lot
Yeah.
of. I would still love to have her on.
She is she will come on the show, but only if it benefits Rachel. You
She's a
understand?
scared.
You want
She's a scared.
She's a scared. Hey, listen.
Scared.
I know we're almost at the end of our.
What? We just started. I just
At the
got
end
here.
of our. I know you just got here. You were late.
No, I was right on time.
You were late for a very.
You guys were
important
early. Fitzy started a half hour early.
Dates.
Go get some wings and beer, Fitzy. We can be here a while.
Kimberly's Revolution. So I want to. You guys probably you're so busy you don't have time to watch
I don't
any
do
Netflix
anything.
or binge anything.
Nah, I fall asleep by 8 o'clock every night.
I kind of got turned on to this show on Netflix called The Queen's Gambit. Have you heard of it? Have you?
No.
It's
So
number 3 on Netflix right now.
it's about chess. I
Right.
know nothing about the game of chess, but I
Is that like Connect 4?
Totally, kind of a little bit. Kind of
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
like the
this.
same
It's got
thing,
the
right?
board, yeah.
Those chess players are sexy, Kimberly.
It kind of just sucked me right in. It was so good. It's about
Interesting.
this girl, chess player, who had a tough life growing up, but she's different. She's rather spectacular in the way her mind works. And it shows her from youth to where the janitor in this boarding school or orphanage taught her how to play chess, and she grew up to be a grandmaster.
Wow.
Which is
So that makes her racist then.
yes, what you said. Oh, Cupcake Chris, it was so good.
Grandmaster.
But I never thought that.
KKK?
Yeah, you never think you would like it. I mean, who's going to like something about chess? It's not really about chess. It's about how she managed to pull herself up from an orphan and be able to do something great, which I
That's
think is
cool.
based on a true story. It's so good. Queen's Gambit. That's my little gimme for the week. That's what I'm. That's what.
For
that's
the
what I
male,
leave-
That's the takeaway.
For the males in the audience,
That's what I leave
I
you
just
with.
got done watching The Liberator. It's awesome. You should watch it.
What is the Liberator?
It's on Netflix. It's about World War II and a captain, or he was a lieutenant.
Not porn.
Lieutenant Sparks. No, it's not porn.
Not porn.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a 4-episode thing. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
I got nothing.
The
You got
Liberator.
nothing?
I go to bed at 8.
Don't be a turkey.
That's it. That's
You
what I
don't
got.
want to be the turkey.
It's the name
on
of
be
our
a
that
turkey.
show. Don't be a turkey. Revolution. This is Kimberly's Revolution. And we're with the guys from Revere Realty, Chad, who came in late, and of course Tom, who's in the turkey suit, and then the Stars and Stripes, and Shannon Joy.
So much fun.
It's always a joy, Shannon Joy.
Oh, thank you
to
for
have
having
in.
me. This
Are,
is fun.
Are you going to get in trouble for coming on this show?
No.
Nobody will even know she did it.
Listen, when you're an independent contractor, you own your own business.
Don't be a tyrant.
Yeah, there
To
is.
do whatever you want?
You can pretty much do whatever you want. And I have a takeaway, though. There is another. I know you had the little ornaments that you liked. There is a stick-on, window, decal.
Yeah.
That is Andrew Cuomo's big face staring in your window.
looking in your house.
In your so you can bring that for
Awesome.
Thanksgiving.
That's funny.
Right?
Where do you
That's
order
good.
that?
I don't even know, but I want to find one. Someone
gotta
told
get
me
it.
about it. And
Google's it.
He's like looking in your window.
If you Googles it, you have to have it. Of Cuomo looking in your window? Yeah.
Oh, 10-4.
No, this was super fun. Thank you for having me on the program.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Good to
We
be in a
appreciate
studio.
it. It's and by the way, we the real estate market is crazy. I mean, it's just unbelievable, right?
Yeah, things are flying right now.
I never expected to have one of those deals where a house sold before I could even get it to.
Yeah, you were there. You were physically there prepping the house, right? And people showed up and take a look at
People
it.
showed up and said, "We'll give you such and such amount," and I'm like,
They gave you what you wanted.
"That's
I think.
$8,000 over asking."
Yeah.
It was $8,000 over asking. So I'm
Wow.
like, yes, we'll take. Well, I didn't say yes, we'll take it. My client said yes, we'll take it. So yeah, that's a done deal. So we're very excited about that at Revere Realty. And if you're unhappy with your company that you may be working for and you're a real estate agent, this is the place for you.
We'll take you on.
We'll take you.
Just as a quick real estate note here before we leave, 15.5% increase in property values year over year for the country. The average is $313,000. And what I said a couple weeks ago about how the real estate market is going to, in the next 6 months, probably it'll start dying off.
Hopefully not.
Tom keeps it real. He's got he put his glasses on. He's
The
serious.
last time that we've gotten to this point was in February of 2006, and that was the last top of the market before it started.
We know what happened in 2008.
Right.
When was the last time you put on a turkey suit and did a podcast?
That was last week, Chad. Yeah.
So thank you to our sponsor, Fantuzzo Acupuncture. We appreciate them. We love them. If you're not feeling so well, if you're feeling out of sorts, go see Fantuzzo Acupuncture. Make sure you tell them, hey, we listened to Kimberly's Revolution podcast and we heard about Fantuzzo Acupuncture and we want to come get cupped or we want to get, holistic health care or whatever. They do it all.
Massages, right?
They do
massage therapy.
massages. They do all that. And if you are not watching us on Apple or on Facebook Live, you can watch us on Apple Podcasts. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts and like us and make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Or you can go to YouTube and subscribe for free. And we really appreciate all the support because in order for us to continue, you have to,
Have to watch.
Help support.
Gotta
Watch.
pay the bills. Gotta
Listen,
hustle.
That's
Gotta hustle.
it. So we will leave you with this. What do we always say?
God bless.
I was going to say, don't be a turkey.
Restore, refresh,
thing.
and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.